10,000 per day in the peak season, people try to encash the land with this typical contour type of the basically the landforms, and they constructed this particular canals or rather basically the drainage paths or the channels to take that particular cash flow throughout the year. This really led the problem of the landslide. And second, upslope loading by the construction dwelling on the unstable slopes. The construction activity is increasing like anything. Lifestyle changes are taking place. The horizontal spread of the houses are now replaced by the vertical development. Heavier structures are constructed, including ESRs, that too on unstable slope. Naturally, you are loading that particular unstable slope. You are going to invite the problem of the landslides. You will find the micro scraps formed due to the rotational type of the landslide at Bhilar. We have studied everything in detail. We have studied everything in detail. We have also noticed the damages occurred at this particular place, Bhilar. Man-made features and vegetation completely damaged. The ground deformations developed due to the landslides. And all the structures which are basically constructed, they are totally damaged, including the services, subsidence that is also observed. The small waterways were developed or modified due to this particular landslide, and total scenario of Bhilar was changed. We also taken the help of the remote sensing and geoinformatics for this particular job. We have tried to find out what is called as the typical spectral signature for this particular phenomenon. We also done the ground truthing using the various GIS layers and all, and then we went further. Of course, this is also one of the picture from the Bhilar only, where you will find the two sets of the ground cracks which are developed due to the downward movement of the overburden material, and slowly this is continuing, and I'm very sure this activity is difficult to stop. You can also see the inclined trees. These particular trees also starting the inclination, indicating yes, the mass movement, soil movement is always continuous at this particular place. And if you construct anything as it is facing the valley and all, you are going to invite your own death. That was the conclusion which was drawn by all of us. Now we consider this as a study, as a model for the landslide. Exactly very close to this particular place, the place is called as Godoli. It is also near to Mahabaleshwar and Pachgani, where as it is famous for eco-tourism. As I said, more than 34,000 people or the tourists, they are attracted in peak season. Normally, your April, May, and June. Of course, nowadays it has lost the sense because throughout the year at Mahabaleshwar and Pachgani is crowded by the people. But however, as due to increased population and increased attraction, as I said, in the change in lifestyle, the more people are coming, more say tourists are coming to Mahabaleshwar and Pachgani, and hence the scope, hence there was need of more dwelling structure, resorts, hotels, and all. But there was a less scope for infrastructure development as these places are located in hilltop land. The restricted development due to the civic authorities and town planning has really restricted the development, and nearby villages came forward like Godavali. It has the same atmosphere. The location is also equally beautiful, and many national and international schools have come up in the last 10 years in the places like Godoli. Wonderful hotels have come up because there is no control of the civic authorities, no FSI, as it is only Gram Panchayat. The people took advantage, the builders took advantage, and they constructed the structures without understanding the behavior and also geological and geotechnical characteristics of that particular part. This is the location of the Godoli. Again, at the bottom, you'll find Landsat 7, the thematic mapping, say false color composite. What I want to show is something different. The Godoli is small village. In fact, it is in the limelight only due to the international schools. There are wonderful bungalows which are constructed. I will show some of the pictures. Then the basically duplexes which are purchased at a very high cost by some rich people from Pune and Mumbai without knowing what is going to happen in the near future. The regulating authority is absent. Everybody is taking the benefit of this particular situation. Contractors are coming forward. The investors have turned their attention to these particular villages because they are cheaper as compared to the Mahabaleshwar and Pasgani. And due to this, the encroachment and uncontrolled sprawl along the vulnerable slope is a common feature in this particular place. Attempts were made to prepare landslide hazard zonation map for this particular village with the help of remote sensing, GIS, and basically the field data. My dear friends, we considered the first pillar as the known set of the data. We tried to simulate the conditions with the village Godoli, and then after doing the lot of ground truthing, after doing the lot of course, after developing what we call a digital terrain modeling and all, we could find out the areas, we could separate out the areas which are vulnerable, which are going to create the landslide havoc in near future. And we also submitted the report to the Tahsildar and basically the civic authorities of Mahabaleshwar so that at least in near future, there must be some control overall, control on the haphazard development constructions we are taking place. Our students, in fact, Dr. Professor Deshpande also involved, is taking the Prant and Tahsildar to the various locations. This is the topography and the slope of Godoli, similar to the place what is called as your Villar. Unfortunately, there is no signal yet which is noticed by the common people, but we have already noticed this particular section at the area immediate in the trouble zone location. See the typical trees development, see the inclination, see the downward displacement, see the creep observed by the trees itself, see the typical development of the trees. And hence, using this particular data, these are nothing but the duplexes constructed by one of the eminent builder from Pune. Adjoining to this, there is something called as the wonderful school constructed by one of the very famous Vidyapeeths from Maharashtra. See the columns, see the deflection of the columns. It is purely due to the creep, purely due to the mass movement, which is basically active presently at the slow rate. Yes, at any moment of time, this may lead to the great disaster. Using the various, I say, geoinformatics tool and remote sensing data, we could construct the modeling indicating the various steep slopes where the hazards are going to have the highest rate to comparatively the lower one indicated by the different colors. You can very well notice by the naked eye also the typical feel that you are going to get out of it. And unfortunately, just to attract the customers, unfortunate to attract the investors from Mumbai, Pune, they have many of the builders have constructed the building in the high or basically moderate or some of the hotels on the very high hazard zone which are inviting the problem. Probably the landslide may take in near future. Of course, nobody can forecast, but yes, it is our duty as the civil engineers or the architect to see that this type of the development which is going to dig your own grave should not take place over here. And that is why now we are referred, we have prepared everything for the Godoli. Practically people are sleeping. Even civil authority are not knowing what is going to take place in near future. The students of my MTech, Professor Deshpande and all, we have prepared the landslide susceptibility map. Here is the Villar, exactly opposite is nothing but the Godoli. You'll find the susceptible landslide is also marked using the satellite data, using the geoinformatics, using the GIS tools, and you will find we have submitted this particular data to Satara Collectorate. He has also taken up the issue, and this has helped to prepare the disaster management plan for the Satara. So using the BILAR data, we are use that data as the knowledge set, data set, and try to find out how we can correlate the nearby areas of Mahabaleshwar. Presently, it is basically looks to be stable externally, but yes, in near future, it is going to create the problem. Second thing that I like to share is very famous case studies on the Konkan Railway. Konkan Railway was a dream of many people or many politicians, both in the state and also at the national level. It was the dream which came true due to the efforts of E. Sridharan, then Raja Raman, and so many people. But there are some of the areas which are also vulnerable today. Every year, every year, we find some of the landslides which are taking place on the Konkan Railway, mainly in the Ratnagiri district, or in the basically Lanza Tehsil of the Ratnagiri section. In fact, right from here to the Lanza, these pockets are more vulnerable, and the wonderful case studies is nothing but the Newsar and Pomendi. They are not far off. Both are located in Tehsil Lanza of Ratnagiri district. In fact, they are known for the very big landslides. In fact, Konkan Railway is struggling to prevent these landslides, but somehow the natural, we cannot control the nature. Even though a lot of expenditure has been booked by Konkan Railway, still 100% the landslides on these particular areas are not solved. I have given already the location, Tehsil Lanza of Maharashtra. Newsar slide area is located in the hill where the Konkan Railway has provided cut-off trenches for the track. The thing was either to go for the tunnel or either to go for the what is called a cutoff. The tunnel was difficult. The tunnel was difficult due to very soft soil. So basically, Konkan Railway authorities had chosen to go for the cutoff and basically provide the track. But due to the excavation of the open cut in the railway construction, the slope has become steep and unstable. They were stable initially, but when you are gone for the excavation, the angle was changed as it is subjected to heavy and intense rainfall. Rainwater percolation is a very common phenomenon, and it has increased weight of the soil mass and became very plastic. A very film of the water occurred at the lithomarch clay and triggered the sliding of the soil mass, basically both at Newsar and Pomendi. Just to protect that particular steep slopes, or say the backfield which is provided on the by that particular slopes, the Konkan Railway authorities had designed the RCC retaining wall, but it was not sufficient. I'll show some pictures, you'll understand, because due to this particular soil masses, heavy pressure was developed on the retaining wall. At the same time, the typical silt and clay combination, which is not having enough cohesion, has created the sudden mass movement and also closed what are called as the V folds. And due to two combinations, heavy loads on the backside, and there is no chance for the movement of the water, it has created what is called as unbearable condition for the retaining wall, and retaining wall collapse. Many times the repairing has been done, but every time the retaining wall could not stand, and a whole debris, mud which came on the road, rather rail track, and rail track was paralyzed. This is the picture I want to share before you. Of course, this is taken practically 5-6 years back, just after this particular concrete retaining wall is no more existing. The Konkan Railway Authority is now going to provide this type of the typical, say, the slope grade changes or flattening the slope or providing the benching and all, but it is somehow not completely managed. You will find due to the rainwaters flowing or what you call the discharges or the surface runoff, the gullies are also formed, which is purely due to the erosions which has taken place, the benches due to the heavy rainfall that is taking place in the month of June, July, and basically August. The height of the gully is almost equal to 2 to 2.5 meters, and they are placed a regular interval. This is a very common problem, both mainly at the Nusser and also at Pomendi. Then we have also studied the geotechnical characteristics of the soil by taking the soil at our geotechnical lab at Karat. We'll find we consider all particular tests like the Atterberg limit, CFA analysis, and after considering all these geological, geotechnical failure modes were suggested the preventive measures that I will cover in the latter part of my presentation. The same thing is for the Pomendi. They are both are placed very close to each other, but the Pomendi, this particular landslide is between the Pomendi tunnel and then the Pomendi viaduct. This particular thing, this particular thing has its own characteristics. Again, it is a retaining wall. The difference between the railway track and the peak point of the hill is around 23 meters average. During this intense rainfall, mixed regolith with the water traveled rapidly down, and again the weep holes were closed, and there the water movement of the water was obstructed at this particular place, and again the collapse of this particular retaining wall took place. Here is some of the examples. Of course, the Konkan authorities temporarily provided the gunny bags full with the rather the plastic bag full with the sand to overload it, but again it could not really continue for a long time. You will find basically the flat slopes are also created. The benching method is provided so as to make the slope comparatively more flat, reduce is what we call as the verticality or the angle, but somehow you'll find it is not 100% successful. And now a lot of measures are suggested by different authorities. They are now implied, they're adopted, and now somehow now the structures at the Konkan Railway or the landslides or Konkan Railway are slightly under control. This is the actual picture at the site. Just after collapse of the wall, you'll find the RCC wall here, but the whole slope has came down. Even you cannot find where is the retaining, where is the railway track, and the restoration work was started. And then the Konkan Railway adopted different type of the say preventive measures on this particular thing. One of the cause, as everybody knows, is nothing but the liquefaction. The soil particles are normally compact, but due to the presence of the water or due to the presence of the moisture, the characteristics of these materials are changed. They are more separated. Compact packing is lost. The shear strength is lost, and the whole soil becomes what is called, what we technically, the shear strength is practically mobilized, and the failure mechanism is generated over here. So in many cases, as far as the landslides are concerned, the liquefaction is also an important geotechnical characteristics which is associated with the phenomenon which is called as liquefaction. Of course, landslide prevention is the major challenges for the civil engineers. To do this, to prevent the right landslide measure, we must understand two things. One, the geological characteristics, geotechnical characteristics, and what are called as the typical site characteristics. Let me tell my dear friends, the water and the soil, they are the major enemies of the civil engineer. We cannot predict the behavior of the water and the behavior of the soil. There is no perfect mathematical modeling. My dear friends, the same soil, will behave abruptly different at different location at a different depth, and hence you cannot predict the 100% behavior of the landslide. The same story is with water. Water is so clever, so intelligent. It knows how to enter and how to escape, how to come out. We always try to seal only at the exit point, but instead of that, we should prevent the entry of the water in the soil masses. Probable site and location which may affect by landslide due to natural calamities or human inventions can detect earlier by means of the emerging technologies like the geoinformatics and also confirmatory what is called as the field data. We also done this particular study for the all in fact, one more study that has been done by us at the Banda Branch Canal in the Tilari, or basically the South Konkan. Of course, the time may not permit me to cover that particular part, but we also studied the characteristics of everything, and then the stabilization slope, which may likely become unstable, is possible, as well as the triggered landslides can also be freeze by appropriate geological and geotechnical investigation, but with the civil engineering measures. But but the rapid landslides like avalanches, they cannot be controlled even today 100% by what are called as the landslide civil engineering measures. We know the following characteristics. We have to study the following characteristics like the geology, geotechnical, rainfall, slope angle, the seismicity basically, which is also triggering element, type, age, and density of the vegetation. Many of these characteristics can be carried out or studied from your remotely sensed data, satellite data. The civil engineering prevention measures can be classified in general in the three different ways. One, modification of the slope geometry, which includes by the slide uploading, counterweight field, and the slope angle reduction, which is the common feature which are adopted in the soil stabilization or what we call a ground improvement technology. Second, this included various seeding methods to improve the stability of the weak ground soil, reinforcing with the different type of the material. We may add some binders like the chemical treatment. We may go for structural fields like the structure, say your say stone columns. You may go for grouting, wherein we have to seal the fissures through which the water movement will take place. The grouting can also use as the cementing or bonding material. We can also think of providing the proper drainage path or ground freezing, exactly opposite activity, where we can see that the soil mass is become stable. And third, naturally, is the retaining structures. It may be the gabion walls, new tools where the boulders are packed in the steel meshes, and under its own weight, it provides what is called as stability. It doesn't block the water as it is having the porosity, lot of force, the water can move very easily. So everything can be achieved by the technique like a gabion wall. It may be the gravity retaining wall. It may be the cantilever wall, crib wall, counterfort wall, sheet pile walls, or it may be what is called a buttresses wall. They may be the mechanically stabilized type of the soil which are commonly adopted for heavy or very high type of the embankments. These are the common techniques which are adopted. And also, this is what are also called as the mitigation measures. I'll just move comparatively faster that what are the things that we are suggested at various locations. As far as the Newser and Pomendi is concerned, mainly for the Newser, at least to prevent the failure of the remaining retaining wall, we have provided what is called as slide unloading technology, where we go wait for the we are suggest economical and effective method of site prevention. Slope modification involves the removing of material load from the area with the possible substitution by the lighter weight field. Naturally, the horizontal forces which is caused by the backfill can be reduced. You can also support it by the changing the angles of that particular slope. we may go for the benching. Any combination you can study. In fact, we have proposed this one of the thing at for the Konkan Railway. This is something which is called a slope angle reduction, which is also very effective way wherein you can reduce the probability of the landslide. The same thing was suggested at the in some part of the Konkan Railway, also at the Banda branch canal. Of course, we are not gone for that exact case study, but where you want to create rather reduce the slip circles or the sudden movements of the soil, you can very well control by the reducing what we call as slope angle. This can be important parameter which has been suggested and implemented by the Konkan Railway also, which is called as the surface drainages. Drainages which may be natural or man-made, efficiency of the natural drainage may be improved by the new designs of slopes and drainage patterns. Whenever we come across the problem where we feel that drainage is not properly maintained or the surface water is not taken out very effectively, you can suggest the modified surface drainages. We can convert, we can amend that particular thing. What you see in the left hand side was really modified by a proper drainage path, proper directed flows, so that the remaining soil will not get disturbed, it will not be unnecessarily overloaded, and the stability of that soil mass can be improved. This is also very effective tool which was suggested at a place called as the Pomendi. The drainage, as I said, the most dangerous part for the landslide which will be triggered and basically prepared is nothing but a combination of the water plus soil. We can do two ways. We can stabilize the soil and also we can go for effective subsurface and deep drainages. Of course, this was not used in the Konkan Railway, but mainly for the tunnels. This is the very effective tool which was used on the Konkan Railway itself, and the tunnel was nothing but the Karbude. This is Karbude tunnel. This is a picture of the same tunnel constructed on the Konkan Railway, very close to Ratnagiri, 6.48 kilometers long. The similar type of the soil was there, and then we are gone for the subsurface and deep drainages technology, wherein the deep excavations or basically the deeper subsoil water can be collected and taken out freely without disturbing the soil masses, which ensure the safety of the soil mass. One more cheaper technique which is adopted is nothing but a filter media, where we provide the media, we go for basically the pervious filter media along with the pipes which are perforated naturally under the action of the gravity, under the action of the osmosis and all, the water is collected in this particular portion. Remaining soil mass is free from what is called as the absorbs water, and that particular say soil mass weight can be also controlled, the plasticity can be controlled, and mobilization of the shear strain can be controlled. So this is also one of the engineering technique which can be used for the stabilization of the soil and also to protect what is called a landslide disaster. One more technique which has come is basically mechanically stabilized earth or use of the geosynthetics. Now, practically in last 15 years, the plastic industry or basically your fiber industry, they have come together. Lot of research has taken place, and it is now one of the important tool, very cheap but very effective in the case of the soil which are having what are called as the typical characteristics of the soil, rise swelling, shrinkages, or where the water is going to create the problems, or where the chance of landslides are occurred. So it is either the reinforced type of the slopes, mechanically stabilized earth, or reinforced foundation. Let me share some of them because the time is a constraint. One is the geotextile. It may be the woven. It may be non-woven, or it may be basically knitted like your underwears and all, where the knitting mechanism, where the fibers are placed across maybe at 45 degree or 90 degree as the case may be. These are allowing that particular water to move, but yes, this is the holding soil in position. When you want to reinforce the soil, one more action available is nothing but a geogrids. The latest development is basically a geocells where they operate in all the three dimensions, which get anchored into the soil or the concrete as the case may be, enhances the stability to the greater extent. Geomembranes, where you want to go for impermeable separation of the groundwater or say infield water, you can go for these type of the membranes so that water will not disturb the soil masses. Geonets, where we place in the typical say 45 degrees net or basically typical shape, which increases both to the, it can be a combination of textile as well as the geogrids, which is widely used in the case of now the canals and different type of embankments. Geopipes, latest versions where the pipes are provided with the porous nature, it can collect the water, mainly used for like something like a galleries of the dam. And over and above, we go for now the composites of the different combinations of this, so can we can have the various say the benefits which can derive, which are required for the typical site under consideration. One more thing has taken place now, which is called as soil nailing. It is something like a stitching. In this case, the soil lane can be separated from 1 meter to 2.5 meter, where the same nail is placed in unstable soil mass. There is something like basically the flexural member, and it is knitted, it is provided tension in the stable soil mass. So soil nailing holds that unstable mass and connects with the stable mass. Naturally, it is like a pinning like arrangement, and if I place this type of the say members at a regular interval from 1 to 2.5 meters, depending upon the masses, depending upon the volume to be attached, I think this particular assembly can serve to be a better preventive measures of the soil mass. When you move from the Pune to Mumbai, even say expressway, this feature is commonly adopted. Similarly, one more technique which has been suggested, which is now commonly suggested, mainly in the case of the typical soft soil, which is called as micropiling. Everybody knows the concept of the piling, where the load is transferred practically to stable strata. Here, the bunch of the piles having the less than 300 mm, even lesser than that, is placed at a regular close interval, and then we provide a pile cap, which is a very heavy member holding the piles together. You can place the piles in the different direction, different inclination, so that it can perform two jobs. One, very safe soil mass load transmission, and second, anchoring, holding that particular soil mass together. And hence, micro piling is one of the important tool, one of the important ground improvement technique you will find here. This is basically design and construction of micropiles divided in two groups, and non-reticulated piles and basically reticulated piles. You will find a typical composite block where the piles are providing inclined direction, very solid, what is called a rigid cap beam retaining the soil masses. This is a very common tool now, effective tool also, and we have suggested this particular tool mainly for the Bhilar village, where these type of the slope geometry was observed. One more thing that can be important point, many of the geologists must have already studied this part in depth, which is nothing but the rock bolts, or also called as the dowels. Wherein the bolts which are practically 5 meters or 6 meters long, even more than that, diameter maybe 32 mm plus, with the plate, face plate and a nut at the top, we insert into the rocks which are not stable. In fact, it can contain the plain rods. It may be fixed It, of course, their tension, it may be the grouted, it may be ungrouted, it may be basically provided with the expansion type of the characteristics which will hold in the rock in position. And then this can be also supported. This can be also supported by the graniting, or also by what is called as shotcreting with the mesh you find mainly on the Pune-Mumbai Expressway or even on the NH4. When there are steep slope, the rock bolting or doweling is a common technique which is very safe also. Of course, it requires, if you want to go for the permanent one, after tensioning, it must be protected by graniting or normally shotcreting, so that its performance, its ability to hold the rocks in position should continue pretty for a longer time. One more thing that has come up, my dear friends, in the case of landslide protection or basically ground improvement technology is nothing but the vacuum dewatering. Because when the water, mainly in the case of clays and all, if the water is basically in that soft characteristics, it is going to create a danger because every soil particle will have the film around it. If you take any measures for what is called a ground improvement, unless until that water film is broken away, the improvement cannot take place. For that particular job, vacuum dewatering systems are employed today. In the case of the landslides, why landslide, even in the case of tunnels and all, and due to the vacuum drainage, we can change the moisture content of the soil, and indirectly intangible gains are very much there without disturbing the any other activity or the surface activities. We can make the soil more stable, which is also one of the characteristics which is called as the vacuum dewatering. Of course, osmotic dewatering also very technique, but it is not commonly adopted in the field due to its cost and other issues. One more fields which are called as the structural fields. Of course, we were knowing this particular technology, it is age-old technology, but yes, due to the changes in the chemicals, changes in the chemical properties, we are now adding the chemical lime, stones, or even the cement column so that they can go in, they can seal, they can fissures, and basically due to the stones and all, the compaction of the lateral bulging will be provided by purely the impacts on this particular thing, and soils can get stabilized. This is also thing, the grouting, maybe where we go for the grouts under the pressure, 50 megapascal or something, where we go for prevention, permeation grouting, jet grouting, hydrofracturing. Here the job is not only to grout. Due to the heavy pressure, the fracturing of the rock also may take place and the grout may penetrate inside, and basically weaker rocks are bonded together to make what is called as solid masses. The compaction grouting is also now added so as to see that the whole soil mass becomes very strong. Comparatively cheaper one, but also well accepted, is nothing but vegetation plantation. In fact, we have suggested this particular part both on the Konkan Railway and also basically near Mahabaleshwar, where like Bhilar, where the slopes can be made more gentle and also provide the vegetation which will help in two ways. One, hydrological characteristics due to the roots which will absorb the water, and it will do the evaporation, it will take the excess water out, and basically the reinforcement due to the mechanical action of the roots which will hold the soil together. It will also enhance the beauty, it will also add to what is called as the environmental, the improvement, or basically what we call a green concept which is holding today the buzzword in the construction or say the construction sector. So naturally, without disturbing any natural terrain, you may add, you may place what is called as your vegetation, and due to the roots, it will have two actions. One, evaporation, or the water will be sucked by it, and the water table or say water concentration will be changed. And second, due to the presence of the roots, it will act as a reinforcement, and hence you can basically strengthen that particular soil mass. avoid landslides due to this cheaper but very effective tool. Retaining walls, as I said, these are the commonly adopted structures. Normally, normally retaining walls are made of the RCC. We may go for a different type of the walls, basically in the form of sheet piles or anchor type of the sheet pile. But let me honestly tell you, the experience of the retaining wall on the Konkan Railway was not really satisfactory. Of course, it was not the failure of the design, it was purely due to the characteristics of the soil, sudden weight gaining and blockage of the what are the called as V poles. But if we take proper care, because if you see today on the Y, on any specific road, if you see the retaining wall, the V poles are always blocked after a couple of years. It may be due to improper selection of the material around that V pole, but once the V pole is closed, the internal hydrostatic pressure is generated to such an extent that it is going to create havoc in the form of the collapse not only of the retaining wall but also the soil which is placed behind, which is going to disturb the railway road as the case may be. It may be a sudden failure. Of course, it gives a signal, but if you are not that attentive, it will lead to the fatal accident. And nowadays, in the form of gabion walls and all, of course, we are getting the advantage. But the thickness of the gabion wall is also one of the problem. When the site is not having the enough clearances, the gabion wall also may prove to be difficult. But the gabion wall is a better solution because it adds to the stability by the weight, and it has the major holes. The water will flow through it very comfortably, and hence the gabion walls you'll find at many places on the Konkan Railway, or even in the case of the infrastructural projects also. This is the cantilever, this is the counterfort, and this is the buttresses. The buttresses are provided away from the backfill, but these, if you place on the backside, we call as the counterfort retaining wall. This cantilever retaining wall has the limitation up to 6 to 7 meters, but otherwise these are okay provided the V folds are properly functioning or otherwise. These are the typical gabion walls you can see over there. There's no proper, I say, connection as such. They are the gravity retaining walls where the rubble or boulders are placed in wire meshes. Box shape bags called a gabions get interlocked and they provide to support. This is the cheaper, stable one. But the only thing is you have to take proper care of that particular cage on which that particular rubble is provided. Otherwise, it will again disturb the function. Pillars we have proposed, are nothing but the micropiles because the plasticity index was very close to 9 and 10. The soil was practically, as I said, the clay or also lithomage. There is a lot of traffic, a lot of people are moving across, and hence, considering the importance, considering the geotechnical investigations and the geotechnical data which has been studied in the large content, we propose what is called a micropiling with the grouted material, with the grouting was under the cement, which is called a jet injected grouting with the micropile. That was a preventive measure at the Bilar. We have studied the economics of this also. And similarly for the Newser, we have provided what is called as the vegetation, basically terraces rather the slopes were basically flattened. We also suggested the modified way of taking out the water, that is nothing but a drainage path. We also provided what is the soil reinforcement in the form of geotextile, and then combination of all will lead to the problem of surface erosion, reduce the problem of surface erosion, permeability, and basically increase the runoff during the rainy season. This can be achieved effectively by the combination of the geogrid, textiles, and basically providing the right modified drainage paths. This was the cheaper solution, and now it is working for last 2 3 years very effectively at Nusser. Similarly, for the Pomendia, the strata was almost the same. Instead of going for the geogrids, we are here propose the geonets on the surface slow failure, and second is the properly designed drainage paths so that the runoff can be easily taken out and the moisture content in the soil can be limited up to the stable value. My dear friends, this is something about the landslide and landslide disasters. In fact, Dr. Champati Ray must have covered the vulnerability part in the first day, of course, is the great authority. You must have seen the Kedarnath incidents. I also studied detailed part of this Western Ghat right from the Mahabaleshwar, Satara, and basically the Ratnagiri, Sindhudurga. The typical soil characteristics are very much there and they are contributed mainly by the runoff. And this runoff, that is moisture plus soil, they create havoc because its behavior becomes suddenly abrupt. It has very typical plasticity index or Atterberg limits, and hence the moisture content is built. The soil mass suddenly becomes plastic flow, and it also loses its what is called a shear strength. This is the common experience. In the case of Konkan Railway, it is also triggered by the shocks which are created by the railway movement. This is also one of what is called as your tangible or intangible type of the contributing parameter. In the case of Mahabaleshwar Bhilar, as you are saying, people agreed to earn the money by providing the facilities in the form of hotels or in the form of lodges, construction of the school buildings, even I cannot share the name of that particular education institute. I have seen the pictures very close to it, not even 100-meter distance. They have the hostels and the mess, and where they have wonderful school, very famous school, but I'm not sure what will happen after 10 years down the line. And hence, it is difficult to play with the nature. You may feel that yes, we have conquered the nature and we can earn a lot of amount out of it by constructing in haphazard fashion. Yes, you can cheat the nature for once, but cannot always. Please understand the behavior of the soil. Please understand how it is going to function in the worst situation, mainly in the rainy season. The nature, my dear friends, gives you a lot of signals. Before you go for the parent land or land of your interest, kindly take the help of the mainly the geologist and also geotechnical expert. Study this particular part. Otherwise, whatever huge investment you make in the form of construction, hotel, resorts and all, that will go at the same time, you may lose your precious life also. And hence, the study of the landslide is an important issue where you have to study the vulnerability which is also associated with the landslide. And hence, no doubt, it is a phenomenon. Sometime it may be beyond the control of the human being. It may be slow or rapid. But let me tell you, my dear friends, the nature speaks with the person. Nature speaks with the engineer or the geologist. Only thing, you have to keep all your sensors open. Once you establish the contact, once you try to read the nature in the form of geotechnical, geological characteristics, you can also create win-win situation for both nature as well as the mankind by taking the appropriate actions in time or selection of the appropriate site so that at the end of or after some time, you should not be in position of a great problem like the landslides. Thank you very much. It was something that I really know little about this particular field. We have studied on a great extent at Karad. Let me thank Professor Purushottam Deshpande also, team of my students, support given by the Collectorate of Satara, Konkan Railway, their field engineers also, my MTech students. Whatever little I have shown or what little information I have about it is the outcome of the contribution given by everybody. So let me thank all my supporting hands again. Let me thank Dr. Professor Bonwe, Professor Deshpande, and Professor Kulkarni for giving an opportunity to share the work that I had done with my MTech student or even during my PhD about these landslides on the Western Ghats. And now the situation is really alarming. Day by day, this problem is increasing. And now the Kumarli Ghat also last year in 2018 and 19 has faced lot of problems due to this particular landslide, probably due to the heavy axle loads, vibrations, and so many other projects which are going on. But yes, my dear friends, day by day, this is going to become an important issue to be dealt with by the both geotechnical engineers and geologists together. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity. Thank you and wish you very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Really, with this lecture, we have enlightened about the different types of landslide mitigation measures,
Thank
civil
you.
engineering measures,
Thank you.
especially. Dr. Champati Ray throw the light on remote sensing applications in early warning systems for the landslides, and Dr. Kumtekar told us about right from the what are landslide, different types of landslide. Then he also discussed the causative factors of the landslides, and depending on the different causative factors, what type of various civil engineering measures are available to enhance the slope stability. That we came to know by his lecture. So we are really very, very thankful to Dr. Kumtekar. Here are some couple of questions. A few questions are
Yeah,
there.
please.
So may I take the questions? Okay.
Yeah, please, sir. Please.
Kshitija Nadgowda, she is asking, how can micropiles be helpful in landslide prevention?
Yeah.
How the micropiling is helpful, especially as you told
Yeah.
in Dhilar.
Yeah. In fact, micropiling is the typical structural arrangement. In fact, it is not a single pile. It is the thin piles as compared to conventional piles, which are placed in the different direction, depending upon the situation, depending upon what is called as the angle or that slope of that particular, say, the soil mass or basically the what is called as your embankment. There are two actions. One, when we provide the piles in the micro pile, as I said, it is the bunch of the pile. It will distribute the load throughout. This is one. Second, as it is penetrating into the pile, because these piles are bored and then cast in situ. We provide that particular hole, we put the cage and we provide the grouting normally by the cement, or in some of the cases, in most of the cases, cement only, and very small if we go for the micro pile like 10 centimeters or all. In some of the cases, we go for another type of the binders. Now, it helps in two ways. One, the load transfer, which is coming on the piles, as it normally, as I said, there is something called a rigid mass at the top, which is called as pile cap or capping beam. And second, it is something like the fingers I put in the soil masses. Every finger has a contribution by folding that particular soil together, and hence it has the twofold advantages. One, safe transfer of the load, and second, what is called as keying or gripping in the soil masses, so that the soil mass will not have the effect of the downward movement or basically the movement along that particular plane, and hence that micropiling is a very effective tool whenever you will find any sort of the chance of subsidence or very huge soil mass movement. I feel it's two characteristics. One, the numbers, second is the bunch, and third is the angle. Has two things. One is the safe load transfer and holding the soil mass in position. these two things make the micropiling as an effective tool to protect the landslides.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question.
Yeah.
One more question from Bhargav Kumar Iyengar. He is
Yeah.
asking, is there any findings of deep black and lateritic soil causing more damage than other types of soil as for the landslide is concerned in the area of Mahabaleshwar? Means apart from these deep black cotton soils and lateritic soils, are there other soils which are responsible for the more chances are possible?
Probably the answer may be yes. But whatever study we have done, not only at the Mahabaleshwar or also Godoli and all, the typical soil which was seen is basically lithomarch, a capping by the laterite and which is laying on the what we call the basalt flow. That was the common soil masses we have seen in the most of the parts of Mahabaleshwar. And due to the typical, as I said, the water building, moisture building, and then basically lubricative effect provided by this and the heavy masses, and also the loading by the human being, it has created the havocs. But as far as the black cotton soil, what you are expecting, I have not seen. But yes, of course, this may not be a part of study. But in the areas like Karad and all, we have seen the failures of these soil masses, even in the case of black cotton and expansive soils, when there is sudden rise in the water level of the river Krishna. But as far as Mahabaleshwar is concerned, my study or whatever study we had done, I have come across the reason only of this typical soil behavior, which is seen in the form of lithomarch clays and their sudden dispersion along the gravitational situation.
Dr. Alchan Jharia from NIT Rajpur is asking, as permeability of rock material is responsible for occurrence of landslide, is there any technique which is applied in landslide prone areas to control landslide as far as permeability is concerned, and what kind of material is used to reduce permeabilities?
Of course, I explained in that particular thing. In preventive measures, the grouting of the different natures like the jade grouting, fractured grouting. This can be also important to see basically the water will move to this particular soil mass only when there are some type of the fissures. There are some type of the conduits. In fact, if I provide the grouting material like cement, grouting material like even basically the bentonite, which will hold the soil mass together, or even the combination of the different type of the now grouts which are not called NS non-shrinkable type of the grouts which are from the chemical background. I think we can really penetrate under the gravity, which is called as something like the ganiting. And this type of injection grouting under the pressures can seal the cracks of that particular soil mass. Even the cement can be also all right. Even I say the typical clay can be also penetrated under the pressure so that the movement of the water will be restricted. And as the movement of water restricted, the soil water mass will not be, the water will not be developed here, rather the moisture content will not be built in that particular soil mass, and the soil mass will remain stable, and the chances of what we call a landslide can be minimized. I don't say 100% control, but yes, they can definitely minimize using the cheaper grouts like the cement, or nowadays a lot of non-shrink grounds are available, which can definitely control what is called as your landslides. Kindly, Dr. Professor Deshpande, kindly give my email to him so that I can discuss some more solutions with him that we are studying. Yeah, because there are a lot of materials like the cement grout is there. In fact, we go for the cheaper type of the epoxy or cheaper type of the bonding agents, which can definitely, even the clay can be also used because it is impervious in nature, and yes, it can really help in rather controlling the damages of the landslide.
One more last question. It is
Please,
not
please.
question, but it is a request. Among the geological fraternity, we have very enthusiastic geologist, Professor Hemant Kumar Bhosle from Panhala.
Yeah.
He is requesting you to throw more light on the importance of geology, not even in landslides and slope stability, but importance of geology in entire civil engineering. He would like to listen to you through from your thoughts.
Okay, definitely. May I know his name?
It's Hemant Kumar Bhosle from Sanjeevani College, Panhala.
Acha, Panhala. Dr. Bhosle, in fact, it is a very wonderful question that you have raised. See, any civil engineering structure, maybe right from Hut to Burj Khalifa, which is almost 836-meter high, we need the foundation. At least till today, we cannot construct any structure, building, or infra resting in the air without touching the ground. And basic aim of this foundation is to provide safe load transfer without the shear failure, which is called as your bearing capacity, and see that the settlement, which is nothing but a downward displacement, which is caused due to the forces, not beyond the tolerable limits. And also one more thing is nothing but there should not be anything what is called as basically the settlement which is variable, basically uncommon or say disturbing settlement, which will disturb the structure in total. When we talk about the stability of the structures, there may be the structural design is one important issue, and another important issue, whatever loads which are created either due to dead load or by the induced loading on the structure must be dissipated safely to the mother earth in terms of your foundation. When we talk about the foundation, we have to take care of the geotechnical and geological characteristics of it. There's so many geological structures. Of course, I'm not the geologist as such, but there are so many things in the form of the strata, in the form of material which is placed at the strata. It may be its porosity, like in the case of dams. It may be basically the COT which we construct for the dam. It may be the typical fault or fractures, the geological features. These type of the things, they are really disturbing. They are really going to contribute maybe for the early failure of the structure or even what is called a devastating disasters. Similarly, the geology also plays an important role along with the geotechnical, because I feel geology and geotechnical things, they go hand in hand. I cannot separate geology with the geotechnical, and I cannot separate geotechnical with the geology. As you know, for every important structure, we go for what is called as core logging. What is the purpose? To understand behavior of the rock beneath that particular structure, and basically also to understand related geotechnical characteristics. The simple point is the load when the load is coming on that particular soil, it is not dissipated at the delta X level. The soil, or what is called a pressure bulb technically, goes very deep into the soil, and the soil which is coming in that particular pressure bulb is equally responsible for the dissipation of the loading. And when we talk about the pressure bulb, when we talk about the rocks, when we talk about the physical characteristics of the rock, deep bed and whatever, all that are equally contributing toward the safety, durability and sustainability of the structures. And hence, the study of the geology and study of the geotechnical is equally important as that of the structural analysis of the building. In fact, the structural analysis of the building, that is the foundation part, cannot be completed unless the structural engineer knows the right characteristics of the soil or the rock or the combination on which the structure is resting. And that is why the role of geology is very important in every structure that civil engineer constructs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So, with this, let us conclude this lecture. I'm really thankful
Well,
to
sir, I
you. Thankful
request,
to your, yeah,
share my email with them. If anybody has a question,
yeah,
they can fire across so that if I know, I will give the answer. If I don't know, I will study and give the answer because I too need some more questions so that I can study further on the same topic.
definitely,
Professor
definitely, sir.
Deshpande, Professor
Definitely.
Bonwe, Professor
Thank you once
Kulkarni,
again.
thank you.
Yes, yes. And my request was to conclude the lecture by leaving from the.
Yes, sir, I'll do so. Thank you,
Thank you.
Kumtekar, sir. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
just a small notice for participants. We'll be meeting next at 1 p.m. Exactly at 1 p.m. The link to join the session will be shared 5 minutes earlier, and we'll meet at 1 p.m. Thank you. Thanks a lot.